The greatest wisdom is to get to know oneself. Passion is the genesis of genius. The book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. Wine is sunlight, held together by water. There are those who reason well, but they are greatly outnumbered by those who reason badly. It is a beautiful and delightful sight to behold the body of the moon. Nature does not act by means of many things when it can do so by means of a few. Measure what can be measured, and make measurable what cannot be measured. With regard to matters requiring thought, the less people know and understand about them, the more positively they attempt to argue concerning them. By denying scientific principles, one may maintain any paradox. It is surely harmful to souls to make it a heresy to believe what is proved. In the sciences, the authority of thousands of opinions is not worth as much as one tiny spark of reason in an individual man. To be humane, we must ever be ready to pronounce that wise, ingenious and modest statement, "I do not know." Names and attributes must be accommodated to the essence of things, and not the essence to the names, since things come first and names afterwards. They seem to forget that the increase of known truths stimulates the investigation, establishment and growth of the arts, not their domination or destruction. The increase of known truths stimulates the investigation, establishment, and growth of the arts. The sun, with all the planets revolving around it, and depending on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as though it had nothing else in the universe to do. Scripture is a book about going to heaven. It's not a book about how the heavens go. You cannot teach a person anything, you can only help him find it within himself. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. To understand the universe, you must understand the language in which it's written, the language of mathematics. The laws of nature are written by the hand of God in the language of mathematics. You can't teach anybody anything, only make them realize the answers are already inside them. Nonetheless, it moves. Knowing thyself, that is the greatest wisdom. Nothing occurs contrary to nature except the impossible, and that never occurs. If you could see the earth illuminated when you were in a place as dark as night, it would look to you more splendid than the moon. You may force me to say what you wish, you may revile me for saying what I do, but it moves. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. Where the senses fail us, reason must step in. Nature is relentless and unchangeable, and it is indifferent as to whether its hidden reasons and actions are understandable to man or not. Two truths cannot contradict one another. You cannot teach a man anything, you can only help him find it within himself. God is known by nature and his works, and by doctrine and his revealed word. Holy Scripture could never lie or its decrees are of absolute and inviolable truth. Mathematics is the key and door to the sciences. In questions of science, The authority of 1,000 is not worth the humble reasoning of a single individual. Scripture is a book about going to heaven. It's not a book about how the heavens go. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered, the point is to discover them.